Okay. Let me know when you're ready, Jane. Good. Okay, we're all here. Good evening. It's the Board of Trustees regular meeting. It's November 22nd, 2016 at 7:31 p.m. This is meeting number 2016-4. Please take the roll, Jane.
President Barry?
Here.
Trustee Stalker?
Here.
Trustee Olenichik?
Here.
Trustee Desmond?
Here.
Trustee Carberry?
Here.
Trustee Vord?
Here.
Trustee Strike? We have a quorum.
Thanks. Would everyone rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to move on to item 3, public comments. Mr. Mike Sutko, you're going first. You're talking about a veteran program. Hi,
Yes,
Mike.
good evening, all.
Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
I am an Oak Lawn resident for a lot of years. And,
Good one, too.
Thank you.
And we recently celebrated a couple of significant military holidays, Veterans Day and the 241st birthday of the Marine Corps. So I wanted to make mention of the fact that the Park District has a program for veterans that goes on all year long. And for the benefit of those who didn't know about it, any honorably discharged veteran that has a service-connected disability gets 10 hours of personal training. And that's at no charge to them. And it's something that all families should know, so they can make their folks aware of that qualify for it. So it's a great program, happens all year long. And they also have some other programs for the veterans, all on page 54 of the Park District book that goes to every household.
Thank you. And can you give a phone number in case they have questions?
Yes, they have questions. It's Jackie Canty, and she's at 857-2200.
857-2200.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Joe Skibinski. Joe is also our treasurer and does a fine job. And you're also an Oak Lawn resident.
I'm an Oak Lawn resident, of course, because I'm a library trustee. And I'm here to announce, after much waiting, Those Guys is now open at the library.
Wow.
I spent the afternoon doing extensive research, and I can attest to the quality of their donuts and sweet rolls. So if you have a chance, stop at the library. They're reasonably priced, and got great food.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Are they open whenever the library's open?
All the time.
Okay.
They're open till like 4 o'clock on Fridays, 1 to 4 on Sundays.
So 4 o'clock on Fridays, 1 to 4 on Sundays,
8, I believe, to 9 on.
and 10 to 9 during the week. Thank you very much. Okay, Sue Andrews, Anthem. Hi, Sue, how are you? Doing great, thank you. And are you an Oak Lawn resident, Sue?
Yes, I'm an Oak Lawn resident.
Thank you.
My name is Sue Andrews. Good evening. I'm here to request that the village ensure that the commitments made to our neighborhood are in place and followed through on prior to Anthem Memory Care breaking ground for the Grace Point facility at 5701 West 101st Street. Our neighborhood attended the meetings, presented valid concerns why this facility did not fit at the approved site, which was ultimately approved 4-2 by this board. George Arnold represented the petitioner, Anthem Memory Care, at the 2016 PD&C meeting, advising that there were several changes made to the plans to address some of our concerns. The first change was that there would be right turn-only cutouts for both exits. Second change was moving the building 17 feet further to the east, which Mr. Scott of Anthem later responded to Commissioner Egan's question that the closest portion of the building would be 95 feet away from the western property line. Third was the wrought iron fence, as well as relocating the dumpster to the southeast corner and the backup generator wherever the village directed. In attending the November 10th meeting of the ADRC, the site plan did not show the right turn-only indicators. The closest portion of the building was advised as 76.7 feet. the dumpster was still located at the southwest corner closest to the residents. In my opinion, the residents of Oak Lawn and our neighborhood were placated with empty promises. I emailed you, Mayor, on November 11th and November 14th on several of these items. I thank you for your reply of November 12th. However, you stated you would circle back and have yet to do so 7 business days later. The PD&C approved the special use permit without updated site plans with these changes by a vote of 7-1. The Board of Trustees then approved the PD&C's recommendation, yet I find it disheartening that these changes were not updated on the final plans the ADRC had. Whose responsibility was it to ensure these changes were implemented as promised to the resident? Lastly, the minutes from the 5/16 PD&C meetings are still not posted on the village website. This was brought to your attention, Madam Mayor, on 11/11, and as of today, they're still not available for public viewing. According to the Illinois Open Meetings Act, a public body must take minutes of the meeting available for public inspection and post them on the public body's website if it has one within 7 calendar days after the minutes are approved by the public body. I just ask that our neighborhood be treated with respect. We are going to accept this facility into our neighborhood, but we would like the support of this Board of Trustees to ensure what was committed to our neighborhood happens.
Thank
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. And, you know, staff were on vacation, Sue, so we're just back in Village Hall today. I am, so, yeah. So we'll get back to you. Larry, anything you want to say real quick on what staff may have told you? or-
Just briefly, Mayor and Board and Ms. Andrews, Anthem did attend the Architectural Design Review Commission, and you were present along with one other individual. So there were 2 neighbors at that meeting. They will be returning to the Architectural Design and Review Board, addressing any of the concerns that the board may have had and that you may have expressed. But they are fully committed to comply with the approvals that were granted by this board and by the Planning Commission. There are some statements you've made that are inconsistent with the record, but they're more than happy to address that at the next meeting that they are on the agenda for. Anthem in this development will be called Grace Point. I believe that their submittal, the architectural, the efforts they've made are completely consistent, particularly with the neighbors who live directly to the west, who would be most impacted as far as the design of the fence that the residents felt would be most appropriate. They went to the Harker Pumping Station, which has a similar wrought iron fence with brick columns, and they are committed to constructing at a cost of over $145,000 that sort of a wall versus something that would be more austere but compliant with the law. The landscaping plan all has been approved by the Architectural Design Committee and was submitted to them for review. They're very impressed with that plan. The issue of the fencing around the retention pond, we don't fence most of the water areas in the village of Oak Lawn, whether it be at the nearby Park District, whether it be along Stony Creek, whether it be Wolf Wildlife, whether it be the tension ponds at Stony Creek Promenade. That is not a requirement to do so, but they're cognizant of public safety and concerns. That is a dry detention area. It is designed that in the event you have a 50-year flood, a significant flood, a blockage anywhere in the neighborhood stormwater system, that is there to help the area in terms of flooding. And it will take on water, and then it will slowly release that water in a short period of time into the Stony Creek, which is our water floodplain district area close by. So they've taken that all into consideration. I think their engineers and their architectural firm are without doubt top quality from all the applications that our staff has to review, that Mr. Gallagher and our building official, Mr. McKenna, review on a weekly basis. So they I think, have met and will respond to all the concerns you've mentioned from a factual, from a legal, and from being a good neighbor. There was an issue over the lighting for the proposed sign, and their preference is to have a very ground-lit, low-intensity, not impacting the adjacent neighborhood, and they will have that discussion with the Architectural Design Review Commission again. That was an issue, I think, that was expressed by you and others that were present, and they're aware of that. You know, Mayor, I don't have anything further to say other than that
Okay.
they will appear. That's a public meeting, not a public hearing, but that's a posted meeting. They meet, subject to the holiday season, they meet on Thursday evenings, twice a month. And again, that's another volunteer, board-appointed group of taxpayers like yourself that do a very good job for the village, and I'm sure that they'll take all your concerns and any concerns that you may have that develop between now and that meeting into consideration.
Thank you, Larry. And we're going to move on now.
Mayor, I'll make a comment on that.
Okay.
And thanks for showing up. So, Larry, thank you for adding the lighting. Was one of the items that the developer or the Anthem committed to addressing. That wasn't included in the remarks. But as far as the 95-foot or the, you know, there was back and forth with some numbers because it was based on where we're measuring from, right? So I think Jack, I don't know if you have the number, but it was from the structure to the property line is the number.
Jack, can you get a microphone, please? Sorry.
So that should be a pretty easy one to give you an answer on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I pulled the minutes and the plans from the PDC to make sure we've reviewed them before the ADRC. But they're an appearance board, the ADRC. They're not a zoning board, so there's nothing. They're not going to make decisions that change.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
That was brought up, and we agree, and we'll be able to give you an answer. But if you're looking at, we're measuring from the structure to the property line adjacent to the building, to Anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It specifically states, and Commissioner Egan re-asked the question, from the zero lot line, the closest portion of the building would be 95. And as far as the information about the fence around the detention basin, I'm going off information that Isaac Scott had stated roughly at the 25-minute mark. So I'm not trying to provide misinformation, I'm not trying to mislead anyone. I want the neighborhood to be given what we're committed to by this village.
And so do they. And but I don't remember I remember the fence being talked about around the property lines. I don't remember it around the.
That's correct.
But
It was discussed.
I'm not. That's okay. And then as far as the generator, that was discussed, and they were going to make their best effort.
Well, I don't want to disappoint you, but let me address that issue as well. The plans have not changed that were submitted before the Architectural Design Board and also the Planning Commission and the Village Board. The west elevation shows parking and also shows a required fenced enclosure for the trash receptacle and also for the backup power generation system. First of all, I'm extremely pleased that we're building a facility with a backup generator. We have facilities in this community that do not have, including when I came here in 2007, we had municipal buildings, including fire stations, without a backup power supply in the event of a failure. We've done our best to address those concerns, and going forward, any new applicants, new developments are required to have that backup generation if it's a structure like Anthem that is serving the general public and in the healthcare industry. They can't move the generator. It's positioned because of the power supply from ComEd and where that power supply has to be secured. But it is fenced. And a generator is only exercised once a month. I could take you to the Advocate Breast Center on 103rd, and I could show you the proximity to the residential neighborhood much closer than what you have in your case. But we worked with the neighbors, and the timing when it is exercised once a month to make sure that in the event of a unforeseen natural disaster and loss of power, that it has to kick on, you exercise it once a month. That time can be put at a time that's acceptable to the neighbors. It can be when everyone's at work or when folks are not at home in the evening when they want to enjoy themselves. So it can be an afternoon start time or a morning time, very much like we once a month exercise our emergency alert system and alarm through the village of Oak Lawn. We don't do it at 5 a.m. We don't do it at 4 a.m. in the morning. We do it at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
That shouldn't be a disruption at all.
Right.
So we'll work with you on that. In terms of the trash receptacle, I was very pleased to say that they would take a look at that. They never committed to the relocation to the southeast side, but they would certainly take a look at it, and I encouraged them to do that and report back to the Architectural Design Review Board, and they will do that as well.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to call Trustee Desmond to the podium with me for a special presentation.
Larry.
Thanks, Jane. So I mistakenly jumped ahead to item 5. I'm going to do item 4, which is a conflict of interest disclosure. I apologize. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none. Tim, you have the podium, sir.
Thank you. Seems we just did this, but it's obviously a year later. I'd like to ask the members of the Special Events Committee that are here if they would come up here as well, please. They're the guys that do all the work. So I'm just going to call out their names as we're here, some not here. Thank Cheryl Daly, Margaret Hayes, Sean Kelly, Joanne Kennedy, Steve Larson, Alan Moyes, Sue Murphy, Cheryl Petzel, Kem Schultz, Mike Sutka, and also Dee Deziak, Steve Barrett, and Brian Hannigan. Hopefully I got everybody. So these people here are the ones that do all the work. You know, they do all the organising, planning, and obviously they do great work because it's a huge success every year. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Let's do the Courage program first.
Okay, we have someone from Courage here.
Yes, how are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Want to say a few words?
Well, first of all, thank you to the wonderful committee for Fall on the Green. My name is Maureen Shields, and I'm representing Molly O'Grady, our director who's on vacation, our volunteers, and all the families that we have serviced for the last 36 years. Our office is located in St. Germain's, a marvelous parish who have supported us, and hundreds of young women have come through our doors and are now counting on us for rent subsidies, food, clothing, diapers, and many meetings during the month. So we thank you. We run totally on generosity, and this is just a wonderful gift. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This is a very large check. It is for $6,837.44. So
It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
very good.
Thank you very,
And,
very much.
Tim, how does this money, where did this money come from?
It came from all the good people of Oak Lawn that drank so much that weekend. It pretty much all comes from beer sales.
Fall on the green. Fall on the green revenue.
So next up we have Park Lawn. Say a few words.
Sure. Hi, my name is Steve Manning from Park Lawn, and this is Wally Bulfin. Wally is a resident at our Oak Lawn group home, and I would like to thank the ongoing friendship that we have with the village, with not only the committee that put together all the events, but all the residents who drank all the beer, and our trustees who've been very supportive of Park Lawn. It's through the partnership we have with the village that we're able to, for over 60 years now, fulfill the dreams of people like Wally who want to live, work, and play in the community just like you and I. So thank you very much.
I want to thank all the people at Park Lawn. I work real hard at Park Lawn. School, I work at Park Lawn workshop. I work at, I come home every day. I go out. The hummer is day one. It's cold outside. That's why.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, sure, yeah. So, a check for $20,512.33. So Steve Larson is going to say a few words.
Well, I've been on the committee since it started 20-some years ago, and the thing that has really kept us going is the sponsors in Oak Lawn. The community gets behind us. Without the sponsors coming in, even though we do drink a lot of beer, we wouldn't be able to do at the event that we do. So we have to thank everyone that was a sponsor this year. Thank you.
She's like, no.
Did my talking for me. Yeah, there you go. Tim, I just want to thank you, thank the committee, thank the residents, our vendors and sponsors. In these tough times, our nonprofits are facing huge challenges, and legislation was just introduced that potentially can cost Park Lawn an extra $350,000 a year. It's very, very challenging to provide the excellent services they do. Without the community support, it would be impossible. So thank you to the vendors, thank you to the sponsors, thank you to the board, thank you, Tim, and your great team. So, thank you. And Brian Hannigan over there has the real checks. Are you going to mail them, or are they here today? How are they going to get them? Okay, thanks. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Item 6 is a discussion of supplemental Chuck E. Cheese safety and security report. I'm going to turn the floor over to Trustee Warder.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Before we start a discussion on this, I'd like the opportunity to discuss the progress we have made on the Chuck E. Cheese matter. Presenting this evening is a Miss Chris Kelly, the Regional Vice President, who is also responsible for the store in our community, as well as their local attorney, Mark Karziak. Since the last time we discussed this matter, we have received the second and final report from Chuck E. Cheese security consultant, Donald Green, who was present and monitored activities at Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday, October 29th, 2016. In addition, since that time, I have visited the store, and I can confirm that all of the safety improvements set forth in this report are completed. Further, I've spoken with Chief Murray on this issue, and we confirmed that there have been no major issues of any concern since these security problems, these security changes have put in place. And in that discussion, the chief sends me every report on anything generated in that shopping center, anything from parking issues to major issues. Also, 3 residents have expressed interest in forming a public safety review committee to address not only Chuck E. Cheese, but other safety matters within the community. These residents currently include 1 representative from District 5, 1 from District 6, and 1 from my own district, District 4. Unfortunately, I have not received any response to our request from other districts. However, should anyone like to be part of the committee, I would strongly encourage them to do so and to contact me directly through the village website. It is the goal of this committee to review this matter for any alternative recommendations than those proposed by Chuck E. Cheese. I would further like to emphasize that past actions will not be tolerated, and should these new safety commitments fail to resolve these issues, I will move forward under the relevant village ordinances to proceed with disciplinary proceedings against the business license. With that, I'd like to open the floor. Chuck E. Cheese, you're here. You have a presentation you'd like to make on this? Okay.
The reply was he was good with your comments. Yeah, I'm just repeating because there's no microphone back there. That's okay.
All right, thanks. Any further comments from the trustees here on the issue?
Yes. Why don't we have the gentleman come up, sir?
Yes, why don't you step up to the podium?
Bob, your question, please?
Thank you. It's really some comments. I do want to point out that I did put your request in my newsletter, and
Yes,
I
you did.
have 3 residents that volunteered. I have asked one of them to serve on your committee, and I haven't heard back from that resident yet, but I will send it. As soon as I do, I will send it. You know, we essentially have been addressing issues, or we've been hearing about issues at Chuck E. Cheese for at least 4 years now. And to say that we monitor the activities on one particular night and that these new safety measures are somehow anything different than we've already tried, I think are insufficient. The issue here is the safety of children and their families. I believe we need to be more proactive about protecting business patrons, residents and their children, our first responders, and the reputation of Oak Lawn as a place that offers a safe environment for families to shop and be entertained. There have been shootings, security police have been assaulted, innocent people just trying to have an enjoyable evening have been victimized, and numerous incidents of assault and battery and scores of 911 emergency calls come in every year. I acknowledge that the management at Chuck E. Cheese has been cooperative. They've tried to do whatever they've been asked to do. But more security cameras and rules of conduct signs are not enough. We need to face the fact that after 4 years of a situation that has only deteriorated and continues to get worse, that hard action needs to be taken. This business does pose a danger to the public health, safety, and welfare of not only our residents, but also children and the first responders. We should serve them notice that we are seeking to revoke their business license for cause and to hold those public hearings. That would be my recommendation.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, just as a follow-up,
I actually have a question.
Chuck E. Cheese has had these kind of problems far more than 4 years. As a police chief, I was well aware of problems at Chuck E. Cheese. And it wasn't until I became a trustee, within my first months, that anything was done to address the issues. Previous boards, and I believe you sat on those boards for years, you may be unaware of the problems, but I never saw any action taken. In meeting with the representatives of Chuck E. Cheese on the issues, they've been very, very cooperative and have taken many steps okay, on my recommendation and their recommendations to improve the environment within Chuck E. Cheese. I'm not going to get into the details of those improvements, but they took many, many improvements. Now, you're correct, some of these problems stem, and that's why we're here and talking about this for the past month. But in all fairness to a successful business where hundreds of people, thousands of people bring their families and enjoy that environment, before we close a very successful business that provides recreational opportunities for many families, because of the problems is just a very few, we owe Chuck E. Cheese the opportunity to address these issues, to do the due process before we take these heavy-handed steps to shut down a business. And that's why I've taken on this committee. I am not in disagreement with you, Trustees, on what we need to do there in the future should these problems persist. But a good village and a good board must allow this business every opportunity to solve the problems that we've identified. And I am committed to that through the due process before we employ our attorneys to the tune of thousands of dollars, okay, to try to shut down a business. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Desmond.
Well, I think Trustee Voter addressed some of my concerns. When did Chuck E. Cheese actually open for business in Oak Lawn?
1984.
They've been there a pretty long time. No, I think I asked this at a previous meeting. I remember the most serious incident, I believe, at Chuck E. Cheese's was when there was, I guess, a shootout
Yes. in the
outside the door. Now, when did that happen?
That was, I think, 2012. 2012, thank you.
And I'm still surprised that there was no, that nothing really happened after that incident. I mean, when did they give up their liquor license?
That was after an incident. We were going to have a hearing, and they voluntarily surrendered it in mid to late 2014, or 2013.
So 2 years after that incident?
1 year, when we took office, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Trustee
Madam Mayor.
Barry.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate what Trustee Vorder is doing. I mean, he's obviously we've taken advice from council as well, right?
Correct.
And it's easy to come on with a heavy hand, and but we have to do it sensibly. And I think giving this business an opportunity to do make all the efforts to make it a safe establishment, it's the right way to go. But you've been firmly. I appreciate you addressing the issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Yes, this is a politically charged incident. We can't just go with the political solution. We need to do this right, and I believe we're moving forward as a board.
So how many patrons of Chuck E. Cheese are there a year at this location? Do you know? Was it 100,000?
Yes, we do about 100,000 visitors each year.
Okay. Okay.
Are you experiencing problems like this at other locations?
There have been a few incidents across the country. I'm not familiar with all of them. I'm pretty locked into my region here. I've been the regional vice president for 4 years in this area. So I've been working very closely with the Oak Lawn restaurant and the enhancements that our security experts have done. We've been very transparent with the board to let you guys know exactly what we're doing.
And one other point, since these security corrections have been done, there hasn't been an incident. Since we started addressing this in the early spring, we have not had an incident. We've had a couple of calls there, completely uncustomer related, an disgruntled employee that quit. So I hope that what we've done here will solve our village concerns, okay? But
We also do.
So we will move forward with what we've set up, I think.
So I want to just draw attention to one other thing. Since these conversations, Trustee Vorder, have been started, you have refocused your attention on Oak Lawn as a community that you're part of. And you've had a fundraiser for the Children's Museum recently.
That's correct.
And one for our Children's Hospital. And I view that as a positive thing. I'm hopeful that the security measures will make a difference. I am not entirely convinced of it. You do deserve due process. You are a longtime business in our community. And as Trustee Warder said, a lot of people are very happy with Chuck E. Cheese who do patronize your establishment. So, you know, it just really can't continue as it has been. And I think you've really made the effort. The big question we have is if this doesn't work, what next? And it really must work, or it will be it. And you know, it's very tough situation. But nothing's more important than our children.
Yeah, we're
so.
committed to do whatever we need to do, work with the committee, and any recommendations that they have, we'll certainly do.
Thank you. Trustee Carberry.
More importantly, I appreciate the documentation. It shows all the different things from lighting to interior lighting, exterior lighting, all the changes that you made.
Yes, sir.
You document it, which is good. But with that, now you got to measure what's working and what's not, and what else you can do, right?
That's correct.
So if we can, you know, this committee is going to be meeting that Trustee Vorderer put together. How often can they expect updates on all the changes, how it's, you know, when it's been implemented, how it's working, what else we could do?
I think that there's a pretty good pipeline from Chuck E. Cheese to you folks. I think you guys might know about something sometimes before I get the phone call if
So
something happens.
that's what Trustee Vorderer, that's what we need, right? The committee and.
Well, I'll have the reports, and when I have incidents first off, I'll have an informational meeting, and perhaps one of your representatives can come to my first meeting with my committee, and we can talk about the history and the whole plan for the future. And then what I intend on doing is having periodic meetings with this committee based on calls for service at your place. We're not going to meet just ad hoc. When in fact I have an incident that I need some guidance from the community, this board gets some input from the community, we'll move forward with what we're going to do in the future.
Okay.
Great. Any other discussion? Okay, thank you, Trustee Vorder. Thank you for
Thank you
coming
for-
out. Thank you, Chuck E. Cheese, for being here. I hope it's a while till we see you again, but very nice that you're here today. Thank you very much. Okay, item 7 is approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes 2016-22, dated November 8th, 2016. May I have a motion on 7, please?
So moved.
Thank you. That was Trustee Stalker made the motion,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Item 8, new business by village trustees. Going to start in District 6. Trustee Carberry.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one comment again. I want to reiterate, I appreciate Trustee Vorder and what you're trying to do. I've spoken with you about it. The gentleman from my committee is a 25-year plus Fortune 500 executive, familiar with all kinds of businesses. But whenever something comes up, and I know this has been sensitive with you being in the police, that where there's possible acts of violence, you know, that have happened and that may happen in the future, you take that very serious, and because it's scary.
Thank you,
Something
Mike.
might happen. So I appreciate it. I know it's not an easy one. I think getting the documentation and getting that committee together and holding their feet to the fire on this is it's important. And I thank you for your effort. And I wish I just thank you for your effort and what you're doing from here forward. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. District 5, Trustee Stalker.
Yeah, I just want to mention, talk about the same thing for just a second. My representative is a 30-plus year educator who's been in leadership in the Chicago Public Schools for many years, and He's used to dealing with children. He'll be an asset to the committee, so this is not a soft committee. This committee meets business. On another hand, I want to talk about some of the activities of business development that are happening in the village of Oak Lawn. This Saturday, November 26th, the Oak Lawn Chamber of Commerce and the village of Oak Lawn are participating in a visit with Santa from noon till 3 o'clock at the Oak Lawn Green at 94th and Cook. In addition to Santa, there'll be entertainment and kids' activities. There's no charge for this event, and free parking will also be available in the Metro parking lot, and a complimentary shuttle will be run from the train station to all activities. At the same time, the Oak Lawn Library is hosting a vendors fair that will feature goods and services of many local vendors. Little ones will be entertained with more kid-friendly activities and a scavenger hunt for prizes. Of course, in cooperation with the American Express card, all day is Small Business Saturday. We encourage all residents to shop local and support the business so that the money earned in Oak Lawn stays in Oak Lawn. Next, again this year, we're going to solicit recommendations for the Mayor's Excellence Awards. These awards go to businesses that compete in various areas like architecture, the building with the best design, environmental, which means that you built an environmentally friendly building. Humanitarian award goes to a business or person who goes above and beyond to service the needs of the Oak Lawn residents. Lifetime achievement for longstanding business or business professional that has supported the village's well-being. Media to a business that shows Oak Lawn is the best place to live. New business goes to any business that is 3 years old or less that has had a positive impact on the village. And what we want you to do is, you have such a business, please submit them online in the village website to the Business Development Commission. Gary Menken is here. Gary, say hello. He's the chairman of the Business Development Commission, who will receive these recommendations, or to Steve Radis, who is the Business Development Coordinator. All these things that I've just talked about are detailed in the Oak Lawn Matters newspaper. So this is one of the great advantages of having a newsletter like this that goes out to the village of Oak Lawn and tells folks what's going on. Most of what I just read to you was printed in this paper, so feel free to go back and look at it for further information. Last, we're trying to develop a program for restaurants, promotions in the Oak Lawn area. We're having a meeting in early December with some of the area restaurants to try to put together a plan to help bring Oak Lawn residents to many of the fine restaurants in Oak Lawn. We'll have that plan put together shortly, and we'll be happy to announce the result of the planning soon. And last but not least, have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. District 4, Trustee Warder.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of things, but in light of the Chuck E. Cheese thing, I think I got the crux of what's going on in my district done. I'll save those to the next meeting. They're all positive. But I do want to, in light of Thanksgiving, thank the village staff. The team here in Oak Lawn is what makes this the community you want to live in. Yeah, they get paid and they get a salary, but boy, they give their heart and soul to this village. Every one of them. I was there and I saw it. So I want to thank the staff. I want to thank Team Oak Lawn for what they do. And again, to echo the Christmas tree lights, I've never seen them better. Good job. Thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thanks. District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. I also would like to wish all of the residents of Oak Lawn, our staff, and the board, all of the people here up on the board, a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thanks. District 2.
Yeah, I just have a couple of quick things. I got a robocall with a woman's voice that didn't identify who she was calling on behalf, but she provided info about a pending bill before the Illinois legislation being pushed by ComEd that was allegedly going to make our electric bill skyrocket. So I asked Larry for some advice. He got a hold of Arnie Schrammel, who is our energy consultant. And he basically sent back an email saying that he guessed it's related to ComEd-sponsored legislation introduced in the veto session, which is Bill SB 1585, to allow demand charges on residential electric bills for the first time in Illinois. That got me extremely concerned because residents do not want to have an extra charge, give ComEd the ability to give them a demand charge, which is popular out in the business industry, but for residential, based off of usage, which costs them more. So I did get a Sun-Times editorial that was from November 16th, 2016, and the Sun-Times editorial said the Springfield electric bill fails to put customers first. It's a 446-page bill, was dropped on the public on Tuesday to revamp Illinois energy policy, beginning with how much you'll pay to turn on the lights, and this bill requires major surgery. So the long and short of it is residents should be very leery. We did get an update from IML that they have taken some of this out, Illinois Municipal League. But residents, you need to get involved and let the legislators know that you are not in favor of any type of demand charge for residential energy. I don't know if any other residents did get the same robocall, but it is very alarming to me. So I just wanted to give the residents an update on that.
Alex, can I comment on that?
Yes.
Just for the information of the people listening, demand charges typically are the highest half-hour consumption of electricity. And the theory is if you demand that at any time, you should be responsible for that much generation, that much power production capability. And it's my opinion, and only my opinion, that they're only putting this bill out there so that they can scare the public to a point where time-of-day metering will really be what they want. So you'll get charged more for time-of-day use, which is summer peak electrical usage, low charge for at night, so they'll want you to get up in the middle of the night and do your laundering and dishwashing and things like that. But that's probably what they're going for. Because the meters that you have right now are time-of-day meters.
Right, they're smart meters. But,
Yes.
Any type of demand charge for residential is not a good thing, so make sure you get a hold of your local legislator. On a good note, we got a letter from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District basically supporting our St. Casimir 111th Street water project that we're trying to work with the Catholic cemeteries. And what's really excellent about this letter, and I'll read from it, the reservoir project was included in the district's detailed watershed plan for the CalSag Channel watershed. The reservoir component of the project proposes 131 million gallons of stormwater storage along with appropriate conveyance facilities. The reservoir project will provide needed flood relief for the villages of Oaklawn and Alsip. The district estimates the amount of flood control and recreational benefits to be realized by this project are $13 million. This is a project that the Public Works Committee has been working on, and basically we want to purchase part of the St. Casimir Cemetery that is considered a floodplain and turn it not only into a reservoir but also add to our park district stock, make it a park with a bike trail that will help us connect the city of Chicago to our CalSag. But the biggest thing that it helps out, every district in this village, and that's a very strong word, every district in this village would receive flood relief from this project. So we're very hopeful. It's been good news that we've been hearing so far. So I just wanted to make everyone aware that that project has got the green light from MWRD, and now we're just negotiating with the Catholic cemeteries to go green with it. And then finally, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, echo what everybody at the board has been saying. Our staff is great. They do a great job. And we live in a great village, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you. District 1.
I have no business, thank you.
Thank you very much. Leary, Village Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. I will present under item number 23 an executive session, along with your management team, recommendations on 2 key policy issues, along with special counsel. Then, Mayor, we will ask the board to come out of executive session and in public session, consider action on both those policy items. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Item 10 is ordinance 162476, an ordinance of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, to set a date for and to approve a public notice of a public hearing for the Patriot Station redevelopment project. May I have a motion on 10, please?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Carberry made that motion,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Item 11 is a request to approve the Historical Preservation Commission referral for an official historic designation at 9306 South Parkside Avenue. This was a 2-0 vote to approve petition number 2016-01. Sandra and Jerome Ragda, petitioners in District 2. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
And then we have a 12, an ordinance granting that request.
So moved.
Thank you. Properly moved by Trustee Oliniechek.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 13 is a request to approve the Historic Preservation Commission referral to add an honorary street name called Lori Glute Way on Brant Avenue from 98th Street to 99th Street. This was a 2-0 vote to approve. Jennifer Hernandez is the petitioner in District 3. And then 14 is an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion on 13 and 14, please?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Properly moved by Trustee Straight. Is there a
Second.
second? Thank you. Trustee Desmond made that motion. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
Lori Glute has been the principal of Sword School for the last 26 years. She has created an environment at Sword that is respectful, responsible, and safe. She has supported the teachers to fulfill their goals for professional advancement to become the best teacher. She has received the State of Illinois recognition for achievement based on the final and most rigorous standards. Lori Glute has completed the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards program for school principals. She was only one of 49 Illinois principals to be selected to participate and only one of 10 Illinois principals to complete the program. I've had the pleasure of knowing Lori Glute personally for the past 17 years. She was the principal at Sward when my children attended. She provided the perfect balance of discipline and respect in the pursuit of excellence in our children's education. I wish Lori the best in her retirement.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Motion passes.
15 is a request to approve the Traffic Review Committee referral to install two-way stop signs. Excuse me, my computer here is acting up. Two-way stop signs in the north-south direction at 51st Avenue and 88th Street. This was a 6-0 vote to approve. TC 1248 SS, Robert Howes, the petitioner in District 2. And then we have an ordinance granting that request, item 16. May I have a
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made
Second.
that motion, seconded by Trustee Carberry. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
17 is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral for parking variation at 5716 West 95th Street. This was a 7-0 vote to approve. Petition number 2016-29. Rajesh Goyal and Renu Goyal and Sonia Goyal are the petitioners in District 2. And then we have item 18, an ordinance granting that request. May I have a motion on 17?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion.
Second.
I'm going to give it to Trustee Vorderer for the second. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Motion passes.
19 is Resolution 162454, a resolution approving a professional engineering services agreement with Walker Restoration Consultants for the repair of an existing parking structure. I have motion on 19, please.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Oliniechek made that motion.
Second.
Trustee Carberry is our second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I just had a question.
Sure.
Did this service agreement go out for bid?
Trustee Straight, if you had been at the budget meeting where it was discussed just about an hour before this meeting, this was the original engineer involved with the parking structure. And Larry, I don't know if you want to talk about why that choice was made, but that was the rationale for this particular firm.
Certainly, Mayor and Board, as we all know, we're privileged to have an 868 space commuter parking garage that was funded with the federal government and Metra in partnership along with the village. There was no plan of action on preventative maintenance. Normally, when you construct a facility circa 2004, 2005, you would plan on a preventative maintenance program, inspection schedule. None of that really was done. And it's come to the attention of our Public Works Department, our village engineer, and our Finance Department that that was not the case. So we approached the original engineer for the firm. Walker is the preeminent parking consultant in the country. And we brought him in, and they did an inspection and made recommendations for us. And we discussed in our budget session that over a series of years, we're going to be, based on this engineering study, be undertaking preventative maintenance steps, much like we do with our sewer rehabilitation program or our water main program, where you cannot finance it over 1 year, you finance it over several years, and you have a strategic plan. That's what Walker will provide to us.
So, in other words, what they did, they were involved in the original
Correct.
construction, and they didn't recommend that we have a preventative maintenance schedule at the
No,
time?
I believe that they did at that time. And again, I wasn't here in 2004, so I don't know what the thinking was. But it's in my opinion, it's a wonderful structure, well-constructed. And like many public buildings, not a lot of attention is given to long-range maintenance plans. And this will be the proper and prudent way to extend the life of this asset and minimize our capital improvements over time.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Just that, my only point would be that since they were involved originally, and this structure is it's really not an old parking structure, that another set of eyes might have been appropriate. And so my question again was, did the contract go out to bid?
So if the village submits or sends stuff out to bid, aren't we obligated to accept the lowest bidder and not the best professional services? You look at qualifications and expertise, not the cheapest. And I believe you've gone on record as saying the same thing, Trustee Straight.
Just a simple yes or no. Did it go out to bid?
Brian?
This is a professional services agreement, and this is 53,000 of the 683. So this is the engineering component of it. And as Larry said, when we sat down, Steve Barrett and I sat down with Walker and did this in conjunction with Metra, and it was suggested that they would be the best firm to go to because they were the ones that knew the structure better. And again, whether or not they recommended a maintenance program, Bob, I wasn't here then, but the fact of the matter is we didn't have one in place, and this is an element of this that is corrective because we have cracks in a couple of the floors, and but the answer is no, we did not go out and seek out 10 different engineering firms.
Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
I'm a little intrigued by the line of questioning, but let me help you a little bit. Again, I'm going to repeat my statement. This is an outstanding public asset, and it serves the most commuters on the Southwest Metro line, the most. Every day, over 1,000 men and women who work in the greater Chicago area and take it to Union Station and return home to Oak Lawn. Walker Consulting is the preeminent parking garage. Just Google them. Take a look at the parking garage they did in Geneva, Libertyville, and I can go on and on, just in the greater Chicago area. But the bottom line is that our engineer Mr. Gallagher, who's sitting here tonight, will tell you that he reviews all the engineering proposals. He sees what the scope of services are, what the costs are. He can benchmark it against other fine engineering firms. We use a variety of engineering firms in Oak Lawn. That was not the case in 2004. We used maybe 2 firms. We use CDM. We use Burke Engineering. We use Walker. We use many, many firms, and we usually reach out to those who have expertise. We do the same thing when it comes to legal services, quite frankly. If we have a special case, we're going to go to a firm that has expertise in that area, and we're going to hear about that, and we go in executive session. So it's the same analogy. Professional services, what's the problem? How do you correct the problem? And go seek out the very best within your budget to provide those services. And I would submit to you, Walker's as good as they get, and it's a fair return on your investment.
Any other discussion? Okay, let's take that vote.
In the scope, a quick comment, in the scope that they prepare will be going out for bid, correct?
Correct. The professional services
Right.
are.
So Bob, the
Uptown.
scope that they prepare
The
will.
construction work that has to be done will be going out to bid, prevailing wage rate pursuant to our ordinance. And I'm sure we're going to have outstanding contractors, just like the contractor that built this fine facility for the village.
Yeah. I want to thank you for getting a plan in place to maintain this very nice asset for the village. No one wants to see it going into disrepair. So with that, let's take the vote on item 19, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichik.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Trustee Streit.
No.
20.
Motion passes 5-1.
Thank you. 20 is a request to approve the purchase and subsequent capital lease for one 2017 Ford F-50 walk-in van from Hawk Ford of Oak Lawn for the Department of Public Works Water Division in the amount of $74,720. May I have a motion on 20, please?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Carberry made that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichik.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Trustee Streit.
Yes.
Motion passes.
21, Village Clerk's Report. Jane?
Okay. Approval of semi-monthly disbursements, number 2016-22D, dated November 22nd, 2016, in the amount of $1,406,311.85.
Thank you. May I have a motion on 21A, please?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Carberry made that motion. Seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichik.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Trustee Streit.
Yes.
Motion passes. One more thing, Mayor. I'd like to thank Jennifer Hernandez, who brought the petition to name the street after Lori Glute. She sat through the historical preservation meetings, and she really pursued this. So thanks to Jennifer and the staff over at Sword School.
Thanks.
Pleasure to work with them.
And Jane, was this a surprise for her? Should we kind of keep it secret if the press
Well,
are reporting, or?
You know, after this runs on TV, so.
Yeah.
I think there'll be
It's out.
Stories
sign
out.
up soon, so maybe we can all be there, so.
Trustee Straight knows, everybody knows.
But I've also known Lori for 12 years, and she's just a great principal, and the students and parents are just crazy about her. So we'll miss her.
Yeah.
But thank you for all the work for their staff and what they did.
Thank you. Get it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. 22, Village President's Report. I want to give a big thank you in this time of Thanksgiving for our amazing Serve-a-thon volunteers. Our police Sergeant Passetti did an absolutely wonderful job, as he always does, organizing dozens of teens and dozens of seniors who need leaf raking. If you don't know what the Serve-a-thon is, it's pairing up seniors who need, and teens who need service hours with, senior citizens who have a need for leaf raking. So the volunteers went out, the middle school went out one weekend, Oak Lawn Hometown Middle School. Those kids went out and did their thing, and then the high school kids from the area did theirs the next time around. It was wonderful to see, and the gratitude on the people's faces who had this big mess in their yard, and to see the kids working so hard, just out of the kindness of their heart, it was very nice to see. So thank you to the leaf raking team. Very
And
good.
Mayor, if I can add, it was nice to see you out there raking leaves. That was impressive.
It was a little chilly that morning, and
To have the mayor on your front lawn raking your leaves is pretty impressive,
thank you,
too.
Terry. It was.
Only in Oak Lawn, huh?
It was fun. It was fun. So I want to also congratulate Oakland Bank and Trust. They are the big bank right outside Village Hall here, and they just announced and had a little ceremony for their official lead certification recognition. This is certification that's very, very difficult to obtain. They are the first bank in Oakland to obtain it. It means that they are very energy efficient, and the building materials are green. It has very low carbon footprint. In the entire village of Oak Lawn, only 3 buildings are LEED certified. One of them has the budget the size of Advocate. And, so this is a big undertaking for our community bank, and I want to congratulate them and thank them for, just being a good partner in our community. I want to draw attention to anyone, we go into executive session fairly often here, and a lot of people wonder what goes on during those meetings. If you're ever curious, outside the village clerk's office, right across the hallway from where our auditorium is, there's a table set up, and the minutes are out there. If anyone wants to see, these are the minutes that are approved for release. There's a lot we can't release yet, but this will give residents who have an interest an idea of what's going on with their government behind closed doors when we do have to meet that way. Very interesting and a good read if anyone is curious. They're out there. And thank you, Jane, and your team for putting them out there. Lastly, just happy Thanksgiving. There isn't a day that goes by that I'm not thankful to live in this community, in this country, in this time, and work with this wonderful group of people, all of you, and thank you, and we wish you the very happiest of Thanksgivings at home. Thank you very much. With that, we're going to move on to 23, Executive Session 2016-12, for the purpose of discussing, number 1, pending litigation, and number 2, approval of minutes of closed session 2016-11, dated October 25th, 2016. May I have a motion, please? I'm going to give that one to Trustee Vorder, and I'm going to give Trustee Olenichek the second on that. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Stride?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. The time is 8:38, and we're going to go into executive session.
Students,
Students, let's come up and we'll sign your paperwork.